It's a really gorgeous day today, and I went out and made my daughter happy and weed whacked outside on the other side of the fence. And there's still more to be done, but I got a little winded. But I came out because it feels so good, and it's August the 5th, and normally we're in 100-degree weather, but it feels like it's 80 degrees out here. So I'm out here in my dirty work clothes, but I decided to show you, gardening can be frustrating. And I don't claim to be a master gardener. I was supposed to take a master gardening class online, and I got sick of online stuff. And I'm asking you to watch my videos. Anyway, I'm not putting on the extra mic. I've told you before, I've got a corner lot, so cars are always coming by. So if necessary, I may have to take out the sound and just kind of voice over. Hopefully I won't have to do that. But what I wanted to share with you today is it's August, and a lot of gardening shows really tell you to start new tomato plants inside and, you know, and plant new ones. And I've learned over the years, as I've told you about my 5- and 6-year-old kale and collard greens and Swiss chard over here. I don't like throwing these things away, and if I can get some more service out of that one plant, I will. So what I normally wind up doing is trying early to cut back on my tomato plants. And I've been cutting back on this one, but I hate trimming these tops, especially when they're starting to flower again. And I've got new tomatoes on there. But while I was doing this, I was thinking about the fact that I've always been frustrated with tomato blight. And when it's 100 degrees outside, I don't feel like coming out here and spraying with baking soda and, all kinds of stuff. So, one of the things that I've noticed is that if I just leave the plant alone, it kind of takes care of itself. What it does, and hopefully I'll be able to zoom in on this, but it cuts off nourishment to the plants that aren't so good. Okay, I think this one is going to get cut back all the way back here. So let's see if I can do this without, I lost the bottom of my shoe. Alright, let's see what I can do. Alright, well, told you before, so I got this little black thing I'm going to put over the camera thing so I can see the screen, so I can see what I'm showing you. Okay, so right here, see that? That had the blight on it, and the tomato plant cut it off, and it cut it off, and it cut out. So your plant is actually going through a process of protecting itself. Now the other thing I've never seen, oops, I'm sorry, I don't need this anymore, I think. The other thing I've never seen was them telling you to cut off the old seed heads, because most of the time we wind up taking the tomato plants, but we're not doing the seed head, where it is. So I want to show you that up close. And this is what I was putting, this is one of my grow bags that I made, one of the small ones. I haven't put anything in it yet, because I could put a pepper plant in it. I could put flowers in it, but for right now, I'm not. And I just lost the bottom of my tennis shoe. They're old, so I'll just get new ones. Anyway, So that's what I discovered, that the plant itself is protecting itself from the blight. Now, yeah, you really should keep up with the things, but if you're like me and you're in Texas and it gets 100 and some degrees and the sun is always shining and you get very little shade like I'm getting today, then you find that you just let it go. And even when you let it go, the plant miraculously survives and still gives me plenty of tomatoes. So I'm cutting back quite a bit, and cutting back all those places where I harvested the tomatoes. I've got some suckers coming out, and I'm going to let those do. Let's see, I'm going to have to come around to the other side. Got my little bucket where I'm doing stuff. Now, right now, this baby is leaning quite a bit because of the weight. But I'm cutting that one off. Because what I want to do is siphon all this energy in this bucket. This is a 5-gallon bucket it's in. And siphon, I think. What do I want to do? Nope, we're going to cut that one off. It'll grow more. But right now, this one is really long. I know I'm putting it inside. Alright, so it's really long. I don't worry too much. You know, they say, oh, get the leaves before they get too further up. And I get lazy. And yes, my channel is not how to garden by the book. It's not how to garden from the A&M, agricultural location. I don't get super large plants sometimes because I forget to come out and fertilize, but my tomato plants survive without me coming out here and being fussy and every day trying to cut off the dead leaves. You know, I'd be spending all my days out here. That's not my job. Right? I like studying about Neville Goddard and Napoleon Hill, and teaching people about Neville Goddard and Napoleon Hill. You know, so I just wanted to show you that. I'm going to get in here and do a few more. I got some tomatoes on there. I'm going to do some more tomato plants. And this one's starting to give me flowers again. So I might put a little pole in here to hold it up. And I've got a tomato plant right here that I also need to trim back. So, but I just wanted to share that with you. Don't worry too much. I mean, if I went by what everybody said, I'd have been out every week. I'd be spraying for something. And every other week or every week, I'd be fertilizing something. And now I do use composting. I use agricultural molasses in my compost tea mix, and I use, I had Alaska fish emulsion, but now I have Alaskan minerals and nutrients. So when I mix up my compost tea, I make a concentrated batch, and I thin it out in 5-gallon buckets after it rains mostly, because I want to use the rainwater that I've captured. And that's what I do. And I get enough. It's not like I want enough I give enough to my son and daughter-in-law and some friends, and you know, but I got more than enough for my daughter and I. It's not like I'm growing enough to go to the farmer's market. That's not, there's one. That's not my intention. Okay, now, if I had seen, now I'm not going to move the camera. This is really long. If I had seen some shoots coming out from the bottom, I probably would have cut this off even deeper. But right now, all the strength from this particular tomato plant is going to go to these upper areas, and hopefully we'll get some baby shoots coming out. I got one little one right in here. Hopefully you'll see that. But that's that. So I'm going to turn off the camera, and I'm going to work on 3 more plants before I go in and get a cup of coffee. I haven't had my coffee yet. And I'm going to check the date. But today is August the 8th, 2020. And I can't see a thing that's going on in the camera, but that's okay. I'm aiming it, my finger near the front. What I wanted to come out and show you is, looks what's happened after I pruned off most of the bad leaves off of my tomato plants. This is a mortgage lifter. It gives me a little larger tomatoes. Now, it's still having some issues. Let me make sure, yes. So it's still having some issues with blight, but it is growing back after I trimmed it back. Here's another one. This is the wait a minute. I'll find it. But it's Glacier. And it gives me a little larger tomatoes. Look at all the flowers. Man, it's got a ton of flowers all over it. And I trimmed it back. As I said in the previous video, I'm not fighting the blight anymore, because I see where the plant, let me get out of the sunlight, actually kills off